Well, hello. How are you? Long time no see. So today I'm going to talk about the art of happiness. The art of happiness. Isn't that fun? The art of happiness. What is it? It's the art of living deeply in the present moment. In the present moment. No matter what's going on, the art of living deeply in the present moment. See, with mindfulness and insight, we can free ourselves from the restlessness and craving and realize that we already have enough. We already have enough, and we are enough. And with that, we can be content. Now, I'm going to confess I have a problem. I have a problem, see, when I get stressed out or like feeling like there's too much on my to-do list, I play solitaire on my phone. And if playing solitaire on my phone doesn't do it for me, then I reach for the chocolate. I love dark chocolate truffles. I love dark chocolate truffles. Good, I'm glad there are people, and Davey loves chocolate too. We have that in common. I reach for my stupid little device, right? I reach for my silly little device and I start playing games to try and satisfy myself. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, it just distracts me for a minute. Anyone else have something like that they use that distracts them for a minute? Yeah, no, Cody's like, no, not at all, I'm perfect. I love that. I love that. Cody, come up here and teach us. You know, it's the things that we do to hide from the things that don't make us happy, right? I have a mentor of mine, I love him, and he says, you know what, the one thing I cannot engage in because I love it, it makes me happy. Like, what's that? He says, gossip. Don't bring it to me because I love it, and to be able to stop it is so hard for me. But then what does he do? He calls me, he goes, so what's the gossip? I said, I'm not telling you anything. Let me tell you about my life, you know, and how wonderful things are today. He's actually called me a few choice words for that, now that I think about it. But it's fun. It's all in fun and jest, right? But it's what we do. Some people shop. Oh, when my mom passed away, I shopped. I shopped a lot. I shopped so much. I still have at least one package in my house that I know what's in it, but I never opened it. I was filling that need. I was getting that quick fix that, oh, I got something. But it wasn't anything I needed. But it was that moment, that small little high that happens.
Dopamine.
The dopamine, thank you. It's that feeling. It's that feeling, that rush. I've learned that if I want to take care of that, I put things in my shopping cart online, and then I make them sit there for a week. A week. It's not easy. If it's cat food or dog food, I go ahead and buy that, right? But if it's, you know, a new pair of shoes or a book I've been wanting to read or anything like that, I put it in my shopping cart and make myself wait a week. I put it in my saved items for later. That way, if I do order the cat food or the dog food, then I don't accidentally order, I don't know what's in my inbox right now. Extra plugs for the kayaks. That's what's sitting in there right now. Do I need extra plugs for the kayaks? No. Do I know where the plugs for the kayaks are? Yes. Do I have enough of them? Yes. So why do I need to order an extra set of plugs for the kayaks? I don't know. But at least they're in there. Maybe if we drop some and we need some extras, I don't know. Then it's a quick order. But these are the things that I have learned about myself. The things that I do. Some people drink. Some people use drugs. Right? That instant dopamine hit. to make them feel better in the moment. But that's not the truth. The truth is if we stop thinking, if we stop allowing what it is, the external forces to affect us, and get centered and practice our mindfulness, then we get that insight. That's that still small voice within, right? Visioning classes actually teaches exactly that. There's this quote from Thich Nhat Hanh in his book, Zen and the Art of Saving the Planet. He says, we can imagine there are many doors leading to happiness. Opening any of those doors, happiness will come to you in many ways. But if you're attached to one idea of happiness, it's as though you've closed all the doors except for one. And because that particular door does not open, happiness cannot come to you. So don't close any door, open all the doors. He goes on to say, don't just commit yourself to one idea of happiness. Remove the idea of happiness you have, and happiness may come right away. The fact that many of us are attached to a number of things we think are crucial to our well-being, a job, a person, a material possession, and ambition, it could be anything. Even though we suffer a lot because of it, we don't have the courage to let it go. We have to have the courage to let that idea go. He says, but the truth may be we continue to suffer precisely because of that. Each one of us has to look deeply and see this for ourselves. It needs great insight and courage to release our idea of happiness. But once we do that, freedom and happiness come very easily. That was a lot. A lot. When I was reading this and thinking about it this week, I thought, when were the moments I was unhappy? I didn't have the right car. I wanted the right car. What I didn't realize was that I had a really cool car. I almost said another word in there. It was two really cool cars. I had a 67 Volkswagen Bug and a 68 Super Sport Camaro. And somehow in my mind, I wanted a cool car. What was wrong with me? Cody, what was wrong with me?
Camaro sounds awesome.
Right? Right? I wanted a new car. So suddenly my cars weren't good enough. I was willing to spend, I don't know how much money at the time, for a brand new car instead of spending the money to fix the two I had. I loved my Volkswagen Bug. I loved it. What I would give for that today. I loved my Camaro. It just needed brakes and a paint job. But my mind was set on I needed this other thing in order to be valued in the world. Oh my gosh. Right? Or when I was single and really, really wanting a relationship. You know, because the American dream is that you go to, you grow up, you meet people, you go to college, you get your MRS degree, right? At least that's what I was told. Go to college, you'll meet the right man, Eileen, and then you get married and have 2.5 kids and a white picket fence and da-da-da-da-da. It didn't happen for me. Didn't happen. I watched all of my friends get married and have babies and they were miserable, and I thought, that's not what I want. No, they were miserable. They were divorced quickly. The kids became a burden. It was like, what? This was your choice. And they'd say to me, oh, you're so lucky to be single without kids. And I think, oh, I really want them. And I really want that relationship. And I would focus on, how do I get that? How do I be the perfect person? When online dating started, I created a profile. I wrote, actually, I think it was on Craigslist. It wasn't even online dating yet. It was still Craigslist. Right, exactly. Make an offer. And it was, I had written a couple of ads, dating ads on there, and I was getting really weird responses. And I was like, no. But I so desperately needed somebody to complete me. Oh my God, it was so hard. I didn't want to go out. All my friends were coupled up. You know, and I didn't want to be the third wheel, so I didn't go out. But I did dive headfirst into my spiritual center, so I was keeping myself busy in those ways and meeting new amazing people, but none of them were single men my age, right?
Be a cougar.
Be a cougar. It was in my 30s, honey. And my minister would say to me, Eileen, be the person you want to date. I say, okay. Be the person I want to date. But there was always something missing. And sorry, these ads were funny. And then I decided I'm going to write one that is absolutely who I am right now. I wrote it and I posted it, and I knew exactly that there would be 0 responses. Spiritual woman in her 30s looking for someone to have fun with, to meditate, to enjoy nature, to continue learning about who they are. Someone who likes uplifting music, who loves to go out and eat, who likes concerts, who wants to be spiritually evolved. I'm just going to put out there what I'm looking for. Zip, nada, nada. Probably because I believed that there was going to be 0 responses, right? But then I got a response. And the response was beautiful. It was, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect person. I must meet them. So I wrote back, and this person wrote back to me. I mean, this is all anonymous in those days, right? I think it still might be online. It's all anonymous, no pictures or anything. And this person wrote back and said, hi, Eileen, it's Matt. He's the president of the board at my church. He could tell by my writing who it was. And I was like, oh my God, Matt, I adore you. And he goes, I know, me too. Do you like, what did he say to me? He goes, do you like pina coladas? And I was like, oh yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no, I love Matt, but I knew Matt, right? And he knew all the words to say, and bless his heart, you know, he's passed on since then, but it was funny to get that response. Oh, there's somebody in my world who's going to love me no matter what. And Matt always did. He always did. He was a really good friend. When I wanted a date to go see, what did I want to go see? The Book of Mormon in San Francisco. I got 2 tickets to see the Book of Mormon with a whole bunch of my coworkers. We bought out the entire theater, and I was looking for somebody to go, and I knew, call Matt. He loves that stuff. He loves that stuff. I got concerts to see these 2 Irish brothers, or tickets to see these 2 Irish brothers that came over, and they did this amazing chanting and beautiful Celtic music. I called Matt. Matt, you want to go do this with me? He's like, I'm in. Let's do it, right? So he was a perfect partner without being my partner, right? He filled a lot of those voids. He was the perfect date. He was the perfect date. And Matt and I talked about it as well. Matt, well, how is it that you're finding all these women to date? He goes, well, look around the church. I mean, they're everywhere. Lots of single women. He said, I don't have a problem, but I could see why you would, you know, because you're looking for an evolved man. And it takes us a little bit longer than it takes you ladies, he would say to me. Yeah, okay, all right. So what I found was, as I was desperately looking for this person, the only one that showed up was Matt. I had other people that showed up, but they were not for me. I had one that desperately wanted me to fix him. He told me that. And I was like, no. I will happily introduce you to some practitioners and my church and all of that, but no. That's not my job. Not my job. Sweet, sweet man, but no, not my job. When I stopped looking for my happiness outside of myself, when I stopped seeking for that perfect partner to fill that void, what happened? You want to make a guess?
It happened.
No, I was happy.
Oh.
I was happy. I started living the life I wanted to live. I started taking risks. I started going out with my friends. I started going out with my coupled friends. I started inviting my friends over. I was having fun. I was living my life. I decided to open all the doors to happiness and just allow myself to enjoy it. Right? Allow myself to enjoy it. What I learned was go with the flow, enjoy the change, enjoy change, that's a tough one, and be available. Has anybody seen that movie about the person who says yes? It's a yes day, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It's in the movie, and I'm going to paraphrase. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. The answer to everything is yes. Yes. And I thought, I'm going to do that. Yes. Yes. So somebody invites me to dinner, I say yes. Somebody says, any invitations to do anything. Hey, I have some extra. Yes. Are you available to? Yes. Hey, would you help me with? Yes. I would find a way to say yes. I found that it rolled over into my work life too. My job was really, really stressful. A lot of things going on, right? Change is happening every day. We'd be focused on a project. We're going to get this done. And suddenly the vision of the company changed. And it was like, change. All right, we're going to go this way next, right? And rather than resist the change, I would say yes. Okay, what's next? My friend, Reverend Abigail Shire says, something wonderful is about to happen. And I cannot wait to see what it is. I love that. Something wonderful is about to happen. I would say that in meetings. And I was sitting in meetings with high-level executives and they'd look at me like, what? No. This means something wonderful is going to happen. We can't do the same thing we've always done in the world, otherwise we never move forward. We never become the next version of who we are. Right? So true happiness, oh, by the way, later on, yeah, the man showed up, the person showed up. And I adore him. I'm so excited he's coming up next weekend, right? I adore him. We talked on the phone 3 times yesterday. He texted me this morning, Gail, Finn's fine. My puppy got so excited last night. My cousin and his partner came over. And my puppy, talk about happiness, right? He's just happy all the time. And we had already been to the dog park. We had already done the pack walk through town. He was exhausted, but Kent and Dietmar showed up and he decided that he was wide awake. And zoom, 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 he ran out to the truck with Kent. And I called him back and he ran back, and in the dark, he missed a step and he just slammed himself into the deck. Poor baby. And he just yelped and cried. And thank goodness Dietmar is a body healer. So Dietmar got down on the floor with him and did some healing, and he wouldn't put his foot down at all. He was actually walking with it way out like this. He was like, it hurts, Mama, it hurts. And I woke up this morning afraid that, he was still going to be in pain and he wasn't going to be able to walk, and I was going to have to get him to the vet tomorrow. And I got up this morning and he looked at me and I looked at him, and he stood up on all 4 legs. And I said, are you okay? And he slowly walked over to me and gave me kisses. And I was like, yes, yes.
Yes.
But I had to let go of my worry, right? I had to know that puppies heal. They heal and they grow. And excuse me, I'm sweating. Whew. It's the energy. It's moving through me. Thank you. I had to trust the process. I had to trust and not get stuck in the, oh, woe is my puppy. Oh, it's going to cost me money. Oh, it's going to, right? I just had to trust and be in the moment. So Finn's fine. He's in his kennel. He's probably like wondering why I'm not home, but I gave him lots of toys and water. So he should be okay. I learned to just go with it. So this morning, I have my laptop today because I went to print the order of service this morning and neither printer worked. I have 2, brand new. I printed Raina's flyers for her yoga.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I got them all printed and ready to go, and I sent the order of service to the printer, and it went, no. So I sent it to the other printer, and that one went, nope. So I walked into the other room and I looked at the printer and I went, okay, this one, the big one, it gives me trouble. I just need to sit down with it and figure out why. The little one, though, that is my power force. That thing just goes. And it said, I'm out of ink. So, okay, I can fix that. Open the drawer, pull out a new ink cartridge, open it up, right, out of the packaging, peel off the seal on it, pop it into the printer. The printer says, there's no ink in this. So I grab another one that I know had some ink in it still, and I pop that in, and the printer says, there's no ink in this. Shut down the printer, restarted the printer, sent it again. There's no ink in this. At this point, I am already really late to being here. I'm surprised I didn't get a phone call from Davey going, excuse me, Reverend, are you coming today? Right? And I thought, I could get upset by this, or I could go with the flow. Where's my happiness? My happiness is not in battling with this printer. My happiness is being here in this building with all of you. This is my happiness. Now, the old Eileen would have shown up frazzled and stressed out. And you would have looked at me and thought, oh my God, is she mad at me? No, that's just my face. Right? But instead I thought, let's just go to my happy place. Let's go to the center. I'll bring my laptop with me. I can read it off of there. No big deal. No big deal. Happiness is a habit. It's a habit. And it's a habit I want to have. We've spent our lives, doing and wanting and being all of these things. Why don't we just choose to be happy? Just choose to be happy. Both printers went on me this morning. I'm going to choose to be happy. The dog hurt himself pretty bad. I'm going to do my prayers. I'm going to choose to be happy. This morning, he went and got his harness out, his orange harness that he has. And he hit that deck hard, like it left marks on him and, on his little white coat and also on his orange harness. And he pulled it out of the bedroom and he was chewing on it this morning. So I went and got it back from him. And as I picked it up, I realized that exactly right here on his chest, on that harness, the marks that were left by the deck was 2 dots, two lines this way and one that looked like a smile. Like, oh, okay, we're gonna be happy. He's fine, right? Hello, universe, thank you for the sign, right? We're just gonna know that he's okay. And he was wearing this little happy face. I didn't even notice until this morning. To set ourselves free and embody wholeness, we need to combine mindfulness with insight. Again, we'll learn that in this visioning class. We learn this in the emotional intelligence class as well, that we learn that these wounds that we have, or the hook that we have, that's what keeps us craving. That's what keeps us searching. What are your hooks? Hooks are a really big thing. What are the hooks? What are the things that catch me every time that will set me off like that? Right? We all have them. We want it to be our way. I don't want to hear that squeaking sound of my husband's shoes on the floor, on the laminate flooring. Right? It could set me off, or I could go, it's just Mark in the house. Great. I can make a choice. I can make a choice. My birds start screaming, my Amazons, and I can get upset at them and yell at them, be quiet. They just yell back and they continue yelling. It's not that big of a deal until one of them tells the other one, shut up. I didn't teach them that. They came that way. I can choose to be happy. I can pick up my laptop and go to the other room. Or I can open the cage doors and allow them to go into the same cage, and that way they play together and they're quiet. Instead of getting mad at them, it's shifted. It's like puppy training. You don't get mad at them, you just redirect, right? That's what we're doing with our puppy minds. We don't get mad at our puppy minds, we just redirect. We just redirect. The last of this is learning to love all of our parts. That's a practice. That's a practice. Even the parts we don't like. Even the parts we don't like. You know, we have to sit with what's uncomfortable for us. And sometimes that could be a little too painful to sit with what's uncomfortable. That's when you call in a therapist, a counselor, a clergy person, a coach. Call a practitioner. Find a safe space for you to sit in that. Find a safe space for you to work through the parts that are uncomfortable. And a therapist asked me, what's the worst that could happen if you went to that spot? And I don't know. And she kept asking me this over and over and over. And I finally said, I could die. And she said, for what you're thinking? You can't die from your thoughts, Eileen. I went, oh, okay. I think it was about grief, actually. I was so afraid to go into my grief because I thought for sure it was so big that I would die from it. And when I finally opened it up, it was a lifetime of grief that came out. And it was that was creating the unhappiness in my life. The grief. Oh my gosh, it was hard work, but it was so worth it. Because now I don't get mad at the printer, right? I don't get mad at the inanimate object. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do this week. Nothing says we need to do this alone, but it is vital to work with our suffering. You know, the Buddhists say no mud, no lotus. So I want you to look at where you're suffering. And I want you to use this knowledge to create a better life for yourself and others. What is it that you can do this week to create a life better for yourself and others? My favorite place to do this is in the grocery store. And I know this is also Reverend Gail's favorite place to do this, in the grocery store. I love to help people in the grocery store line. I love to meet people and just chat with them while we're waiting. I get more hugs in the grocery store line than well, not quite more than here, but than anywhere else in my regular daily life, from complete strangers, because I notice them, I see them, I say hello, how are you doing? It's my favorite place to be, in happiness and in a place of welcoming. So I'm going to encourage you this week, what can you do for yourself to create a better life for you and for others? See, when we embrace our wholeness, it becomes easier to see the wholeness in others. And that's a whole another talk for next week. Yeah? Let's pray. So I'm knowing that there is something greater than we are, something more powerful than we are, something that moves in, through, and around each and every one of us. See, I call it God, and God is right here in this moment, in this space, in this room. It is exactly where you are right now. So there's no place that it is not. It's all God, it's all good. And as we recognize ourselves in it, we can commune with all that there is around us. I know that the key to happiness is communing with that part of ourselves, all of those parts of ourselves, whether they're the joy-filled part or the suffering parts. It's all God, all of it. The dark, the light, the yin, the yang, it's all a part of the whole. And it's all there as a gift to each and every one of us. So I'm knowing that because God is in all of those things, that God is the happiness that we choose in life. God is in the hook. And as we look at the hooks that we have, we can easily remove them and drop them into the nothingness from which they came. God is all of that. It is abundance, it is transformation, it is that beautiful sunshine that is shining on us today, allowing us to dry up a little before the next storm. It is the ocean waves, it is the breeze, it is in our animals and our loved ones. It's in the food we eat and that which we drink. It's nourishing us. And that makes it closer than hands and feet. It is the air and the oxygen that we breathe into our lungs that fills our bloodstream with the nutrients that it needs to keep pumping the heart. It's good. And so I'm knowing in this moment that any person that is in need of releasing a hook is releasing it right now. That any desire for love and happiness, for abundance, for healing is happening right now. See, because God is in the middle of it, it is all possible. Every bit of it. Every single bit of it. I'm knowing and declaring that every shift that happens in our life, in our world, is a shift in love. That anything that looks different, feels different, we allow it to be and love it. That we allow the shifts and the movement forward of our planet to happen in beautiful and inspiring ways. And just no matter what we feel about what may be going on around us, where we are, where we walk, where we step, we are the change that we are wanting to see in the world. And we are stepping forward to doing that. We do that by celebrating life, by celebrating happiness, and by throwing open all the doors to happiness, inviting it all in. Inviting it all in and becoming that. So I'm knowing that this is already done, that our hearts, our minds, our souls are open to all the goodness of the divine one. And I sat in gratitude. I sit in gratitude knowing that it's already done, that it's already done. The Spirit is already on it and that we are ready to recognize it. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. And I let this prayer be by simply saying, and so it is.